What is up, guys? It's Swammer here, back again with some more Premier Cup action. Gonna be sticking with that same team of Garchomp, Metagross, and Snorlax. The battles that I'm gonna show today, there's some examples of me making some very bad plays, and some examples of me making some okay plays. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. So with these two sets, I did climb up to 2,700 for the first time this season. So still quite a ways to go to rank 10. Not sure if I'm going to make it. I checked, and I actually am doing less battles than last time. So here, Togekiss on the lead. Not great. Got to switch into Snorlax right away. And we see a Rhyperior coming in. So going to go right for that Earthquake. If this Earthquake connects, then we're going to shield and claim switch advantage, and we're just standing there doing nothing. I had tons of problems dropping fast attacks today, so I am going to shield, and it is a Rock Wrecker, so that's quite good for me. Going to go ahead and start farming down. I don't think I can farm it all the way down, though, so I'm going to drop the Body Slam to hopefully take out this Rhyperior, and yeah, we are able to take it out. So we won switch advantage, which is quite good, because we don't want our Garchomp up against that Togekiss, that's for sure. And Togekiss does come back in. We're going to be able to get off a Body Slam to add a little bit more chip damage to it. And then Snorlax is going to go down, and Metagross is going to come in. So Metagross coming in here. I probably make a mistake here. I probably should have shielded that Flamethrower. I didn't want to get baited, and then it's a Swampert. And so I make another mistake here. And so definitely shouldn't be shielding Hyper Cannons. That's good. Go for the Sand Tomb bait. I think that's the right play here as well. So I get the Sand Tomb bait, and then I build up a little bit of extra energy, and I was going to go for a double Sand Tomb bait, but I definitely should have just gone Outrage right away, and I should have shielded my Garchomp, knowing that Earthquake could have taken me out there. So a really nice play by them, going for the Earthquake. Definitely caught me a little bit off guard, but that is basically all she wrote for this one, because I'm going to be able to get to a Meteor Mash here, and I'm going to be able to farm down this Togekiss and have another one ready, but that's not going to be enough to take out this Swampert. So definitely a misplay on my part, not either shielding the Flamethrower or shielding the Earthquake. I definitely had to pick one of those two. That really cost me the match. I had one switch advantage with the Snorlax, which should have been good because I could line my Metagross up against Togekiss, but didn't play that right. So here, going to swap out of that Dragonite matchup, and then they bring in their Machamp. So this is a lot closer than you'd think, so I'm not going to shield the Cross Chop, and I'm going to go for the Body Slam here. This is going to do a decent amount of chip damage, gets it to about half health. Going to go for another Body Slam, and we're able to get to it. I think that they were trying to farm me down, because they definitely should have been able to outpace me. And then we actually are able to take them out with 1 HP. So we won switch advantage there, even with Snorlax being weak to Machamp. So that was really, really good. Going to bring in Metagross now. And I think that they probably have a decent amount of energy here, so I'm going to go ahead and shield. It is a Dragon Claw, which isn't great. Going to go for the Meteor Mash here. This is going to deal a fair bit of damage, but we do get the shield instead. They swap into Snorlax. I go into my Garchomp. And again, just stopping and attacking there. There's definitely some problems with Go Battle Lag. Going for the Sand Tomb, should have known that they wouldn't shield that, so probably a mistake on my part. They Body Slam me, which is totally fine. Going to go now for another Sand Tomb. They actually get off another Body Slam here, which isn't great for me. And at this point, I really, really need to get that shield. We don't get the shield, so This is not looking great for us. Gonna go have to go for yet another Sand Tomb because at this point I'm sort of committed. We finally get the shield, and then they bring in Dragonite and do take us out with Dragon Breath. We are going to be able to get to a Meteor Mash, but we're going to have to shield a Dragon Claw here. And then there's another mistake. That was my big mistake here. I tried to farm up just a little bit of extra energy because I wanted to make sure that I could potentially get to a charge move before the Snorlax. But the Snorlax has banked energy, so they still have a superpower, so it probably wouldn't have mattered in the end. Definitely means I dropped a lot of fast attacks on Garchomp, though, because they were significantly outpacing me as Snorlax, when Garchomp should definitely be outpacing a Snorlax. So for sure, dropping fast attacks, not very good, to be honest. But that's sort of been our experience. Here we catch a Magnezone on the lead. That's a huge lead for us. So they swap into a Snorlax. I'm going to go ahead and Sand Tomb it just to soften it up a little bit. And then I can bring in my own Snorlax to potentially take it out. So not going to shield. This is probably just a Body Slam. Even if it were a superpower, it would just debuff their defense more. And so going for a Body Slam here. Their defense has fallen one stage, so we're going to be doing more damage with our Body Slams. They're getting off a second one here. And then you can see my opponent there is actually, they've got some fast attacks that they're dropping as well, so it's not just me, everybody's dropping fast attacks. Definitely makes it hard to play this game to its fullest potential. Here, because I don't know whether they have superpower, I am going to go ahead and shield just to make sure that I maintain switch advantage. I know that my Garchomp is not going to need shields against that Magnezone, so I am safe to go ahead and shield. And then they come back in with Magnezone, and they're getting off a charge move here. It might be a wild charge. It is a wild charge, so I'm going to go ahead and Body Slam. Now that their defense is lowered, they might decide to shield this, and they do, so I gained that shield back, so that's pretty good for us. They swap in Gyarados. This is going to get a little bit tricky. I don't have a great Gyarados counter, so we're going to go for Garchomp, and then go ahead and drop the Sand Tomb to lower their defense. And then we're going to swap out into Metagross, and this should give Metagross a much better matchup against Gyarados. Gonna go ahead and shield the Crunch because that's really the only charge move I have to be worried about now. I mean, the Gyarados could get to a Hydro Pump, but that takes so long that it's just very unlikely. Getting another Crunch through here, so this is going to hurt. And they go ahead and swap into the Magnezone here, which is totally fine. Because they wild charge me. I'm going to be able to farm them all the way down. Not going to shield anything. I don't need to worry, but I don't have any shields, but that's totally fine. Again, still don't need to shield anything. They did get my attack to drop, so I'm going to have to Sand Tomb first to make sure that the Outrage will take them out. And then an Outrage after their defense falls should definitely be enough to take out this Gyarados. It does take it out. I don't know if it would have taken it out if I didn't Sand Tomb first. I'm not sure, but I had enough energy that I made more sense just to be sure. So that was a good match there. I think that was definitely the only way that I could really play that to beat that Gyarados in the back. So that was good. This next match, we're kind of catching a Dragonite on the lead. Gonna go ahead and swap into Snorlax. I prefer to try and do that matchup with an energy advantage, and they bring in their Swampert. So this is quite good for us, because Swampert is a huge counter to Metagross, so I'm just as happy to see it come out now. They go ahead and shield a Body Slam, which is actually pretty good for us. The Hydro Cannon's coming through. We're not going to shield. I'd be happy just to leave this matchup with shield advantage, because that will give my Garchomp a pretty good chance against that Dragonite if I end up in that matchup again. So going to go for another Body Slam, not expecting them to shield. They don't shield, so They're building up quite a lot of energy here. And then they're going to get a Hydro Cannon to take us out. We're going to be able to come in with Garchomp now and start building up some energy. This is just a Hydro Cannon. I don't need to shield. And then going to just keep running up some energy. I want to have some extra, so I'm going to build a little bit past the Sand Tomb, but I don't want to take another Hydro Cannon. So the Sand Tomb does take them out. And then I'm going to go straight for the Outrage. We get to the Outrage against this Dragonite, and this is either going to take them out or force the shield. We do get the shield, so now we can go into Metagross. We've got 2 shields. They just have one other Pokemon in the back. We successfully shielded Draco Meteor, which is huge. They bring in Magnezone, but we're far enough ahead on energy that we can get to this Earthquake before they get to a Wild Charge. And this is going to one-shot the Magnezone. Dragonite coming back in. We are going to be able to get to a Meteor Mash in time. They're going to get off a charge move here, but I've still got a shield, and it's just going to be a Dragon Claw. And then this Meteor Mash is going to take out the Dragonite. So, really solid matchup there. My opponent shielding the Body Slam on the Swampert. I guess it made sense because they wanted to make sure that they won Switch, and they wouldn't have won Switch if they didn't. But that losing that shield advantage really sort of cost them later in the match. So it was I was able to use that advantage to take that match there. So getting into the 5th match today of this set. And we get a Rhyperior on the lead, so this is pretty good for us. We are going to definitely be outpacing it. It's a Gyarados swapping in, so I'm going to go ahead and Sand Tomb to give my Snorlax an easier time. And then Snorlax is going to come in and just go for Body Slam spam. So getting the Body Slam off here does quite a lot of damage. Not going to shield. Could be an Outrage. It is an Outrage, but that's totally fine. We're still going to be able to get to another Body Slam, and this is going to either take out the Gyarados or force a shield. We do take out the Gyarados, so we maintain Switch advantage. Not quite able to get to a Body Slam there. I think I probably had it, but it was an overtap or something. So Dragonite coming back in, going to go ahead and bring in Metagross. Metagross is going to be resisting damage. They actually hit me with an Outrage, so that's not great. When they swap into Rhyperior, I gotta swap right away back into Garchomp. Not gonna shield. Although I'm gonna have to start shielding something here, so I'm gonna build up a bit of extra energy and go for the Sand Tomb. That does do quite a bit of damage because it is super effective. Gonna go for another one here. And quite a bit of damage. It's really just quite a bit of damage for a Sand Tomb. I am going to go ahead and shield because, like I said, I'm going to have to shield something. It is a superpower, so that's definitely the better move to shield. And then I'm just going to go straight away for a Sand Tomb here. I'm guessing this Dragonite is going to shield just in case it's an Outrage, because that would be the match. So they do go ahead and shield. Going to get off the Meteor Mash now. And then we've just got to hope that we can get to another Meteor Mash before this Dragonite gets to another charge move. So going to shield here. It is just a Dragon Claw, but we really can't afford to take any extra damage. And then we're able to get to a Meteor Mash just before we go down, and this is going to be taking out the Dragonite. So really close match. I probably could have shielded a little earlier on that Metagross. If I'd shielded the Outrage, that would have been much, much safer. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20. Getting a Lapras for a reward. So you guys could see there, the last 3 matches, I definitely was playing a little bit better. The first 2 were both winnable matches, to be honest, and I just made some fairly small mistakes that ended up costing me the match. And then, you know, that's just... It's sort of the way that Premier Cup goes. Premier Cup is so bait dependent. I mean, you think about the matchup of Garchomp versus Garchomp or Garchomp versus Dragonite. If you can successfully bait with a Sand Tomb, then you're in business. You're going to win. But if you can't, then you're not, right? Because Outrage is going to be one-shotting, and if they successfully shield the Outrage, you're in pretty tough. So getting into a second set here. And here we get Garchomp versus Magnezone on the lead. Huge lead for us, so this is pretty good. They swap out into Gyarados. Going to soften up this Gyarados with a Sand Tomb, and then go into my Snorlax. So going into Snorlax now, this is a Dragon Breath variant, so dealing quite a lot of damage with those fast attacks. We're getting to a Body Slam pretty quick. They do go ahead and shield, so that's okay. I'd be happy to take shield advantage from this match as well. They go for the crunch, so definitely glad I didn't shield that one. This is going to be another crunch. I'll be able to survive and should be able to get to another Body Slam. Yeah, able to get to another Body Slam. This is going to get the Gyarados quite low because their defense has been dropped. And then this is just going to be a race down, and I'm able to actually beat them down with the licks, and we're going to be able to get off a Body Slam on this Togekiss coming in. So we take both Switch advantage and Shield advantage from that matchup, so that's really, really good for us. Metagross can come in here, and they swap out into Magnezone. That's totally fine. Garchomp is going to come in and just absolutely wipe the floor with him. So we're getting off a Sand Tomb here, does tons of damage. This is actually going to be a Wild Charge. You can see it does so little damage, but going for the Wild Charge is actually smart because it means I get less farm with my Garchomp, but then my opponent just goes ahead and surrenders. At that point, it was obvious that there was no win condition for them. They had Togekiss needing to beat a Metagross with 2 shields, and that's just not going to happen. So here we see a Machamp on the lead. So this is a pretty neutral matchup. They're going to be able to get to those cross chops quite quickly, and I'm dropping fast moves there again. You can see I just stopped for no reason. This is going to be a cross chop. Going to deal a decent amount of damage, but not too much. Going to go for the Sand Tomb. They actually swap out perfectly on the charge move into Togekiss. So I'm going to go into Metagross now. Guys, I really think you should avoid bringing in a Togekiss on the safe swap. It's just super dangerous. We're able to farm them all the way down with fast moves because we got that defense drop. We did shield an Ancient Power, which isn't great, but we're able to farm them all the way down. So we got 100 energy. Going to be able to Meteor Mash twice against this Machamp. They're going to have to burn both shields. And then we've still got our Metagross at half health here. Not going to shield. My Garchomp has quite a good matchup against Machamp. They actually swap into Snorlax, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in Garchomp. I'm going to go for the Sand Tomb here. Because I can Sand Tomb and then Outrage. And that will get them very, very low, low enough for me to basically farm them down. And so going to Outrage here. This is going to get them very low. And then we might be able to get to another charge move. No, we can't quite get to another charge move, but that's fine. I'm going to come in with Metagross, actually, to absorb the charge move. I'm guessing they're going to hit it as soon as I come in, which is totally fine. So Metagross absorbs the Body Slam here. And then my Snorlax can come in, and this is totally fine now. Going to go ahead and shield the Cross Chop. I'm probably being a little bit greedy here by going for the Earthquake. I should have just gone for a Body Slam. I think it would have been enough damage, but I wanted to make sure, so I went for the Earthquake. That does take them out, and then their Snorlax is going to go down to licks. So another good matchup there. Able to win the first 2 of this set so far. And going to be getting into the third match here. So there, really, the key was that when they swapped in Togekiss, that was basically game over for them, because I was able to straight farm down with Metagross and end that match with 100 energy. And that's pretty scary for anything coming in. That's basically going to get 2 shields no matter what. I really think that using Togekiss is a safe swap, unless you know that they don't have a Metagross is not a good call. Taking a little while to find a matchup here. We've got one now, though. All right, here we get another Magnezone on the lead. So this is great for us again. Going to be able to Sand Tomb this Dragonite just to soften it up, and then we're going to swap into our Metagross. Metagross is going to be resisting that Dragon Breath, so it's going to have quite a good matchup here. And then we're going to be able to get to a Meteor Mash before they drop a Charge move, actually. So this is pretty good. And they actually let it go, so that's interesting. They come back in with Magnezone, and we're going to be able to get to an Earthquake. They definitely have the Wild Charge, but I'm sure that they're building up for 2. And this is going to force a shield from the Magnezone. We do get a shield, so that's pretty good. I'm totally happy to let Metagross go down at this point. They actually Mirror Shot us, though, which is not going to take us out. And then we're getting close to a Meteor Mash, and they're dropping out the Charge move. My guess is this one is a Wild Charge. Yeah, that does take us out. And now Garchomp is going to come in. They're likely going to Mirror Shot and swap out, and they do. So it's a Gyarados in the back. So seeing this, basically, I know that I'm not going to need shields for my Garchomp, since they've already shown both Mirror Shot and Wild Charge, neither of which is going to do really any damage. So I can safely double shield this Snorlax. Even if it's just Crunch, I want to make sure I'm double shielding the Snorlax, because the worst case is that my Garchomp has to take out this Gyarados for some reason. So they actually go ahead and shield themselves. Totally fine. We're going to shield again. Make sure that we win this matchup. Now I'm noticing my switch timer is coming back up, so I'm expecting the swap out. I do swap again back into Garchomp. This is going to be a Mirror Shot again. Not doing very much damage at all. I'm going to go ahead and farm basically all the way down. They're getting off another charge move here, but that's fine. What I want to have is enough energy for a Sand Tomb and an Outrage. So I get off the Sand Tomb here to take out the Magnezone, and then I've got the Outrage ready for this Gyarados coming back in, and this it's certainly within Outrage range, so this is going to take out the Gyarados very comfortably, and that's going to be a GG. And I did have that Body Slam saved on the Snorlax as well, which probably would have been enough damage as well. But really strong match there. Able to basically just snowball from winning leads, so that was really good. All right, getting into the 4th matchup here. I think I make a pretty bad mistake in this one, so we'll have to see. So Garchomp against Swampert. This is a pretty positive lead for us. We just have higher base stats, basically, so I'm going to go for the Sand Tomb against the Swampert. Swampert's usually will shield, especially because he hasn't dropped a charge move yet. He'd be sacrificing a ton of energy. And then he's going to go ahead and drop a Hydro Cannon here. So that does a fair bit of damage. And then he's going to drop another one. And we're going to go for an Outrage. We do, actually, he does switch out, so I'm going to drop a Sand Tomb. I didn't even see what it was. I was just dropping it to soften whatever it was up. And now I can't swap out for whatever reason, because the charm damage still went through, interestingly enough. But that's fine. We're going to go into Metagross and be able to farm this all the way down. I am going to go ahead and shield. It is a Flamethrower, so I'm glad that I did shield that. Now we've got 100 energy built up, basically, for whatever's coming in. It's the Swampert coming back in, so we're going to go ahead and drop the Meteor Mash. This does a fair bit of damage. Going to go for another Meteor Mash here. Going to force the Swampert to shield. And then we're going to build up just a little bit more energy and try and swap on the charge move. We actually don't successfully, but they are going to throw their energy into me anyways. So they get off the Hydro Cannon there. And they're getting off another Hydro Cannon. And we did get a lick through, so that's okay. They swap into their own Snorlax now, so going to go for the Body Slam. And we're just trying to get as much damage onto this Snorlax as we can for our Metagross to be able to take it out. So they're getting off a body slam here. It's fine, really. I'm going to be able to get off another body slam, and then they are going to have to throw a charge move against me to take me out. It's possible that I would have been better off switching out here to avoid letting them farm up a little extra energy. So they do get off a body slam. And then I'm going to go ahead and shield this body slam. It would just get us a little bit too low to be comfortable. And then they actually do a good job swapping out on the charge move here. And I should have... I noticed them swap. And so I decided to throw it anyways because I thought that I could make it. And you guys saw I did actually make it to another Meteor Mash, but somehow Snorlax won CMP. So I don't know what that's all about, but still definitely should have just committed to the farm down on the Swampert. I think it was low enough I could have farmed it down, but I was worried about a Hydro Cannon coming through. But really, really close match. I definitely think I should have won CMP there, but that's fine. Catch a Gyarados on the lead here, and then they come in with a Garchomp. So this isn't great because they're going to deal quite a lot of damage with this Outrage. They are flexing the shiny Hundo Garchomp, so that is pretty awesome. So definitely big props to them. Going to go for the Body Slam spam here. And I know that I don't really have much chance of winning this matchup, so I'm not going to shield. I probably could have shielded here and gotten to another body slam to force the issue, but that's okay. Going to come in with my own Garchomp. And basically my win condition here is that they don't get to, that this is a Sand Tomb, so I don't shield this because if it was an Outrage, I was going to, like, if I had to use a shield, I was going to lose it anyways, so I just go ahead and surrender here. I knew it could have been an Outrage, but I also knew that if it was and I had to shield, then, you know, I was going to be down a shield and without switch advantage, and that was going to be GG anyways. So really my only win condition was not to shield and then hope that I could flip the matchup a little later. So really well played by my opponent. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.